Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Ipswich Town rebuild. As you can see, we've been well and truly involved in this transfer market already. We brought in Andre Silva, yes, the Andre Silva from Leipzig, for free. We got him on a free transfer. As you can see, he's already got 2 goals in 2 games, starting off really, really well. And we have started off really well in the start of this season. Andre Silva's first game in an Ipswich Town shirt started off with a bang against Southampton as the lap puts him through on that right hand side, squares it across to the box, and Andre Silva slotting it away. Once again, though, we did come straight back in, firing in, and Delap linking up Andre Silva again. 2-1. We managed to beat Southampton in the first game. Brenton Diaz, put in a goal there to take away our clean sheet. But yes, Andre Silva starting off really well at Ipswich, getting that 2-1 victory in the first game of the season against Southampton at home. Unfortunately for us, we had a very, very, very poor game against Sheffield Wednesday. This game itself was very back and forwards, nothing really coming of it, and unfortunately for us, this game itself ended in a draw against Sheffield Wednesday, a newly promoted side to the Premier League this season. Nothing really come from both teams, and nothing really too exciting to showcase when it come to this match as well. You can see we've been very active in the transfer market this season. This summer has been massive for us and our director of football. As you can see, we've brought in a few different players. We've brought in this centre back himself there from Sheffield United for £19.5 million. We've brought in Anthony Robertson from Fulham for £18.5 million. We then followed this up with 2 young right backs. We brought in Vinicius Tobias from Shakhtar. Spent £4.5 million on him. He's went straight out on loan to Stockport County in the Championship, where he's played really well and getting 2 assists in his first game for them. We went and got a youngster as well from the German league, who we spent 2.4 million on as well. He's had his first game for us, playing relatively well from Gladbach. As you can see, though, we then went and got another right back himself there, who we've brought in from Benfica. £1.3 million we've brought him for. A little up and coming star as well. We also went and decided to take a gamble and bring in a goalkeeper as well, Santiago Mela, who came in from Junior FC from Colombia. We spent 1.2 million on him, and he's came in and had his first game for us so far as well. But as I do say, the free transfer market is where it's all been at and happening for us. We've spent a total of £47.5 million this window. A lot of free transfers coming in. A lot of different style of players that you would not expect Ipswich Town to sign. Andre Silva being the biggest one that we've done this window. As you can see, we've brought some other players in. We brought in Emil Hodgberg from Tottenham as well, as he left on a free transfer at the end of the season after he'd come back from his loan from Marseille. Not really having a good spell in France with them as well. Ranieri, we also brought in an ex-Real Madrid player. So he didn't really hit the ground running. He played really well at Granada last season, but previously to that, the likes of Dortmund, where he spent 2 years on loan, and Genoa, where he's also spent some time on loan as well. Didn't really hit the ground running, but he's made a move to Ipswich Town as well. So Calvin Phillips has also made a transition back to the club after he was released from free on a free transfer from Manchester City. So went and picked him back up as well. Hopefully it will revive his career and get something similar in the future of that £42 million that Man City paid just 2 seasons ago. Our director of football decided to just do a little bit of business as well, and he went and got Ethan Ince from Manchester United, who we've managed to get him on a free transfer. He's came to the club now in the under-21s. We're trying to get him out on a loan as well. We've done some different sales as well in regards to players we've let go when it came to this transfer window. Luke Wolvenstein, he's went to the Saudi Arabian League, nearly 14.5 million we've cashed in on him as well. So he came through the Ipswich Town Youth Academy, and he played a lot of games last season. So obviously he's made that transition to Saudi Arabia. We weren't going to convince him to stay. As you can see, 300 grand a week is when went and got to Saudi Arabia. Connor Chaplin was another one. Saudi Arabia sort of came in. He didn't have a massively amazing season for us last year. He only got 3 goals in them 27 games that he played for us. So £9 million for him was a no-brainer when it came to that transfer bid coming in for him. Nathan Broadhead, he's also made a move to Saudi Arabia as well, as you can see. Didn't really play many games for us last year, 2 games. 4.9 million is what we've cashed in on him. Nice little profit flip for Ipswich there, as they only spent 1.2 million on him 2 seasons ago when he signed for them originally from Everton. Sam Mosley, as you can see, he came back off his loan from Bournemouth. Didn't really feature very many times at Bournemouth himself there. So he got 9 games he played for Bournemouth. Didn't really feature at all. We made 400k from that loan deal. He then has made a permanent transfer to Fulham for that 1.2 million pound as well. As you can see, overall we've profited from him since he moved here from Borough 2 seasons ago. There's a lot of little bits and bobs that you can see moving out the club. You've got a couple of loans in there, a couple of permanent transfers. Nothing too much happened before this window. I don't think we sold anyone other than Jacob Greaves has been one that's went to Crystal Palace. We've sold Trezeguet to China. And obviously Wes Brown and stuff went last year. A couple of things in regards to the free transfers that we got last year. Nathan Ferguson, he's a player that we're going to try and get loaned out this year, as he only played, well, he didn't even play any games last year. So yeah, Nathan Ferguson's going to be one of those that we try and loan out. Fusu Mensah, he's went out on loan to Watford, so he's went back down to the Championship to play some football because he didn't really play at all with us last year. We've went and signed another right back as well. So we've brought in this young lad here from Torino. We brought him in for 6.5 million. So hopefully he'll feature. Obviously with new signings, he's went and got an injury straight away. Obviously Director Football went and did his bits and bobs as well when it come to the transfers he's moved in. We've started off really well, other than that little draw that we've had against Sheffield Wednesday to start, but really looking good in regards to the team and how they've started out so far. We still have got £26 million in the transfer budget and thereabouts. Obviously, we've got that wage budget problem where we need to probably looking at about 20 million still left in the transfer budget, if I'm totally honest. Finances wise, 63 million in overall balance for the actual club themselves. We're probably not going to look to sign anybody urgently because it's not an immediate thing that we need to do. If I'm totally honest, I think I'm quite happy with the signings that we've done so far. Projection wise, £80 million balance is expected at the end of this season, and a £64 million transfer budget is also expected to be at the end of this season as well. And you can see the figures don't lie, they're just going to get better. They are just going to get better in regards to transfer budget that we're going to have available to ourselves to spend over the next few years to come. But yes, let's get into this season and let's see how we get on come the end of the 24-25 season with Ipswich Town. And let's hope that Andre Silva can really lift those extra goals into the back of the net when needed. Okay, so the season has been finished, and as you can see, we finished in a total of 6th place in the Premier League. Joint points with Manchester United. The only thing that separated us was the goal difference. 5 points difference between 7th with Tottenham just below us there. As we can see though, Erling Haaland really ran away with the goal score, the high goal scorer, sorry, and obviously the average rating. Nice to see Andre Silva on that leaderboard as well there, as you can see, with 16 goals. Really good season from him there. Liam Delap as well, getting 6 man of the matches. As you can see, Liverpool won the Premier League this year, with Manchester City just finishing a few points back. Well, no, a lot of points behind them, sorry. That is a lot of points difference between first and second for this year, especially with Erling Haaland getting 38 goals for this season. With regards to the squad, though, we can have a little look. So, obviously, over the top, Andre Silva has been absolutely outstanding for us this year. As you can see, 28 games, 16 goals. Fantastic, coming in on a free transfer, if I do say so. There is some interest in him from Leeds, whether or not we could probably look to cash in on him. 40 to 48 million pound is a massive amount of money if we can get that in from him. On the other hand, Liam Delap really starting to progress really well, even though we've got a couple of downward arrows in there. Value between 73 and 80 million pound. He had a fantastic season. 13 goals, 13 assists, and I'm guessing by the looks of it, Liam Delap played on that inside forward on that right hand side for us a lot this season, playing absolutely fantastic. We also got this other young lad here, Smodix, I think it's pronounced, the Irish lad. So basically, he's had a fantastic season again, playing that shadow striker role. Really good value as well there. He's currently unhappy, just needs a new deal to reflect his ability. Someone I would probably like to look to cash in on in the summer. He's 30 years of age now. I know it's not very old, but someone would like to cash in on. Free transfer wise though, had a few of the free transfers really getting a good few games in for us, as you can see here. Thomas really did get a lot of games. 33 appearances he's made for us this year. Amari Hutchinson, once again, the young lads really hit the ground running. Didn't have a fantastic season like he did last year, but still 7 assists and 6 goals is fantastic from him. As you can see, stats really starting to improve now. Between 50 and 55 million. He currently wants a new deal. We'll get all this tied down for the summer. Jack Clark, on the other hand, though, didn't really play as much games as he did last year, just because of the new additions and obviously Liam Delap playing on that right hand side. As you can see, though, we have got loads of different sort of plans for the summer in regards to players we potentially look to move on. Liam Delap potentially could get an offer in. We might cash in on him and bring in someone absolutely sensational to really excel us and push for that league come next year. Um, we'll just have to see. George Hurst really didn't get that many games this year, only 2 games this year, but as you can see, the year before that, only 2 goals, so probably a player we'd look to move on in the summer as well. He's got some interest from other clubs there, Southampton, Sunderland, and a loan option potentially there as well. Anthony Robertson, who we brought in as well, from Fulham. He had a really good season, as you can see from the left-hand side. 2 goals, 4 assists, average rating of 7.02. Really good for a player we only paid 18.5 million for. Hasn't really progressed a lot in regards to his stats, but does look a really good, solid player to say the least as well. So we're really happy with that progression as well. With Calvin Phillips obviously coming back on a free transfer this year, is a permanent signing for us. 30 years of age now, value between that 37 to 41 million pound mark. Had a fantastic season again, once again playing in that CDM spot. 3 assists from CDM is fantastic from him. Bit different to what he did last year. He played 1 extra game but didn't get anywhere near as many assists or goals that he had from when he was on loan at us. So we'll look to improve on that. Emil Hosberg, once again, a lad that we got in on a free transfer. He's played a lot of games this year, and look at how much he's valued at. He's 30 years of age now, going to be 31 next year. There is potential to improve on him significantly. His stats are absolutely outstanding. Like, look at those mental stats. Really good physical stats as well. Natural fitness of 20. Someone that we could look to sort of bring some more value in regards to transfer budget we could bring in next year if we do look to move him on. Obviously, the young lad we brought in from Borussia Mönchengladbach, he's played really well. Davies, he's getting on quite well as well. He had a solid season. Ben Johnson played a few games, isn't really hitting the ground running this year, so maybe someone that we look to move on in the summer transfer window as well. We've got loads of players that have really started to shape up this year. The one that didn't really hit the ground running was Ranieri, I think it's pronounced. 10 games he only got for us and 1 assist. Really didn't really hit the ground running with us. Not valued it much either. Looks like West Brom want to come in on a loan for him. Might be able to cash in on him. The centre back we brought in from Sheffield United. He's had a good year. Not really smashed it in regards to get any assists or any goals as a centre back, but did do the job. Obviously help us get really close to that 6 mark in the Premier League. The only problem we've got now is the clubs that are interested in him. I'm not saying Leeds or Bournemouth, more Juventus and the Saudi Arabian club there, Al Ahad. Or Ilahad, I think it's pronounced, starting to show interest in him now, so it might prove very hard to keep him in the summer transfer window as well, especially with them type of clubs sniffing around with him. The biggest surprise I had, Santiago Mella, a young keeper, well, not a young keeper, but a keeper we brought in for really cheap last year. 1.2 million we paid for him. He played the majority of the games. As you can see, rating 13 clean sheets, perfect. He's been outstanding for us. A very big surprise that obviously he was playing a lot more than Muric. So I'm very surprised at that as well. We're back at right midfielder now. Obviously, as you can see, he's been phased out a lot more. Only 9 appearances he had and didn't really do anything in those 9 appearances. Muric is going to be one to probably move on in the summer. As you can see, 6 games he played. He only managed to keep 1 clean sheet in them 6 games and conceded 8 goals in those 6 games he played as well. He might be loaned out for me, and I might bring in a backup keeper. We'll have to see what happens in the summer transfer window, and what's to come. As you can see, another right back we brought in from Torino. 6.5 million were paid for him. He only played 13 games. Did he have a lot of injuries? Um, Not a lot in a sense. Well, I mean, he missed 2 months of the season when he first started, so he was out until October. So obviously, once he gets phased out after 2 months, someone else sort of takes the reins and becomes a more of a first choice player if they outshine him. Once again, Nathan Ferguson stayed around the first team. Didn't play anything at all in regards to games. We have tried to loan him out. We tried to loan him out all of last season. Sadly, no one sort of caught on in regards to taking him on either loan or a permanent transfer, which was unfortunate for us, but we can't change that. Finances wise, come for next year, look at that, £77 million the club has given us. We're obviously a really good, decent wage budget by the looks of it. £99,000 in the wage budget as well. Probably look to give that a little bit of a movement. We'll probably have about 70 million to spend, with that 196 million. Sorry, £196,000 in the wage budget. It makes more sense to sort of say that's how much we've got coming in the new year. As you can see, didn't bring anything more in when we finished last season. £48.5 million in and £32 million out. We'll see what happens in regards to the summer and what we look to bring in next season. As you can see, the board is still expecting us to finish mid-table next year and be competitive in Europa League. So a lot of things the board's expecting from us next year as well. Obviously, staying under the age of 23 for the first team as well is a massive thing the board's going to be focusing on next year. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Tactic wise, obviously we stayed like this last year. We didn't change anything in regards to the tactic. I completely forgot to show everybody the tactic we were going to be rocking with for the rest of the season. So apologies about that, but we've not changed anything in regards to our tactic. This is what we're going to build the team into, and keep it sort of perfect. So it's a perfect little tactic to use for this team. We've built the team into this. We can only build on it from now, surely. I'm thinking more we'll look at another potential CDM, maybe a new shadow striker. It will all be dependent on who goes in the summer transfer window. But that's going to be it for this episode today. If you did enjoy this, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Any in regards to the tactics you would like to use, if you'd like to use a tactic I'm using on screen today, all you can do is simply copy and paste all the instructions which are down your left hand side, and obviously the formation as it is. A lot of attacking width to this tactic. So we'll see what happens next year. Do we change the tactic? Does it stay the same? Do we keep building on it? My biggest plan is we build on it, but we'll see what happens in regards to who we move on in the summer transfer window. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.